Hey there, Kristen again, and I just want to take a second to tell you about how to use this program. So, first of all, each week a new module will be released to you, and in that module, there'll be mini lessons kind of broken down into bite sized pieces, and you'll see that content in the form of um, written information, charts, cheat sheets, and little video snippets like this. I have some links to some outside videos as well to kind of get some extra resources. And I'm going to encourage you to self pace. If you want to kind of devour it 1 week at a time, that's absolutely fine. If you need to pace it out in a way that makes sense to you, you can absolutely go for that. The only thing I would recommend is going in order. So while voice work, like our singing development, is a very spiral, it's not linear at all. In fact, we're talking about breathing and resonance and vowel shapes on day 1, and we're talking about them in month 6, and we're talking about them in decade 4, but each time we're circling around to them, we're experiencing them at a deeper and deeper level, because as we grow as singers, our relationship to our instrument gets deeper and deeper. It grows. So that is very spiral, but for the sake of this information, it is broken down a little bit more linearly, and I would recommend going in order of module, lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, and then module 2, lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, and so on. I think you'll probably get the most out of it that way. Not that you couldn't jump around, but a lot of the modules are built on the information that was covered in the previous module. So what this is not, I do want to kind of bring this point home. What this is not is a formula or a method. This is not a one size fits all for all singers. Like, we are going to talk about the generalities about how this voice works. But as with anything in the vocal arts, every piece of information that we learn from science and from hundreds of years of people studying the voice, it all has to be tailored to the individual. So this is not about coming out with methodology or a series of formulas that now we can kind of plug the voice into. Voice is much more complex than that. People are much more complex than that. So we want to be careful that we take this as information to understand the instrument, but not lock it into these small pieces, like almost like sound bites, like these small pieces that can just be plugged into the voice. It doesn't exactly work that way. But what I think this can do for you is provide some key information about your voice in a way that helps you flow with it rather than fight it. I think it's also going to help you learn some of the discoveries that they're making in some of these like academic and scientific laboratories, and I like to call them incubators. And we're trying to get that information out to you, so that gives you a little bit more information, and it'll help your singing, the development process. It'll help it be easier because you're going to understand the whys and what's behind it. So that's a little bit about how to use this guide. Go in order, pace it at your own rate. Oh, and the other thing is, if you have questions along the way, I want you to feel free to jot them down and let me know. Our field is so complex, and there are so many different approaches to voice. I want you to feel absolutely comfortable that if you have questions, confusions, curiosities, you want to know more, whatever it is, I want you to feel free to jot it down and bring it, send it in, and we'll set up a chat about it. So I think the next thing to do is just make sure, before we kind of delve a little bit deeper, is just to make sure we're on the same track. So the next video is just a little bit about the philosophy of this program, so that you know the lens that this was created in, and then as you're consuming the information, as you are engaging with it, you understand what that lens is, and you can then make meaning of it for yourself. So I will see you in the next video.